You may have found yourself thinking, hey, something's off here at some point. Like you're a character in a story that was carefully written to keep you going in a certain direction without questioning it. You're not the only one going through this. You feel like you just found a secret door in a room you thought you knew inside and out. So, what if we're all part of a big plan, a matrix that's been skillfully put together around us? Now, visualize finding out that getting out of this complicated situation isn't just a crazy dream, but a real journey waiting to be started. Let me tell you something. You've always had the power to break out of this illusion. Are you interested? Let's go further together. Dolores Cannon was a pioneer who pushed the limits of what we thought was possible and found secrets about our lives and how to overcome the problems we face. Her research into the mind and past lives has given her amazing new information about the Matrix, which is not the movie, but a complicated system that keeps us from reaching our full potential. Dolores learned that this Matrix is more than just a set of social rules. Additionally, the very top set up a carefully planned system of control to keep the rest of us in line. It sounds a bit like how the Roman Empire kept the people busy and unaware, but the beautiful truth that Dolores tells us is that we need to break free in order for our souls to move forward. This is where things get interesting. Dolores says that the Matrix feeds on our doubts, fears, and willingness to follow directions. But what do you know? We, you and me, have the power to break down this illusion. Being awake, seeing past your fears, and stepping into a world full of opportunities is what it's all about. People in the background, the so-called global elite, see our awakening as a threat to their big lie, the world they've made up of lies and fear. There have been many brave people in history who tried to pull back the curtain but were shut down. People all over the world are beginning to doubt, fight, and break free from the chains of fear that have been holding us back for so long. We're not just questioning the status quo as we peel back the layers of this big lie. We're also lighting a spark for a new way of being. We are living in a very important time in history. The old world structures are falling apart as we welcome a new era of freedom and knowledge. There is an awakening going on right now, not just in the future, as Dolores said. The Earth's vibration is getting stronger, and it wants us to rise with it. It wants us to let go of the old and welcome a new day, full of love, compassion, and creativity. Do you sense a pull to go beyond the Matrix and find the magic inside you again? In this case, it's about seeing fear not as an enemy, but as a lie. We should go on this journey together, coming out of the shadows and into the light of who we really are. Are you with me? You've probably noticed that fear is always with you as you go through life. This topic is talked about in the news, in the hallways of your workplace, and in everyday life. The noise doesn't stop, and it can wear down even the strongest person. Then, something amazing happens inside you. All of a sudden, you're not believing the fear anymore. When you wake up from a bad dream, you start to see the stories for what they really are, tools meant to keep you trapped, worried, and obedient. Dolores has been a lighthouse for those of us who aren't sure if our fears are real. She dug deep into the human mind and came back with a shocking idea. Fear isn't as real as we've been led to believe. I think of it more as a mental construct, a program set up by those in power to keep us under their control. These puppet masters have come into our Eden and planted doubt and fear. They have made themselves look like they are necessary and are feeding off of our lower, more fearful selves. The journey to get rid of this fear programming is nothing less than heroic. It's about noticing the imbalance in the places we work and live, especially in fields that don't seem to fit with our growing awareness. Think about how big businesses, drug companies, and other similar groups often put profits ahead of people, which adds to the Matrix's strong grip on our health. Dolores taught us to tune into the energies around us. As we wake up, we can feel that these places are deeply out of whack. This discomfort, which shows up as headaches or a general feeling of being sick, is your body's way of telling you that it doesn't agree with the Matrix's values. The push for people to work from home, followed by a return to traditional settings, has made this difference stand out even more, making it clear that the old ways don't work for us anymore. When we leave the Matrix, our priorities change, especially when it comes to our health and wellness. All of a sudden, our bodies seem like holy places that need to be respected and cared for. This light makes us want to give up habits like drinking, smoking, and mindless consumption that kept us stuck in the Matrix. These things are now seen as ways to control us and keep us from being in touch with our true selves. This awakening is a call to clean up our lives and get them back in line with our spiritual paths, because our physical health has a direct effect on our spiritual journey. This is a huge change that means leaving the matrix and entering a world of higher consciousness and real living. A desire to live a real life outside of the matrix draws people like you together. People in these communities help each other out and share information, skills, and resources freely. As a group, you're not only living off the grid, but you're also building a new grid based on cooperation, caring for the earth, and long-term living. This journey toward living off the grid and building communities isn't just a way to get away from the matrix. It's a deep connection with what it means to be human. You enjoy the simple things in life, the way nature works, and the deep connections you make with the people around you. It's going back to a way of life that respects the earth, values what each person brings to the table, and knows how we all depend on each other. By choosing this way of life, you're not only reclaiming your freedom and power, but you're also helping to create a new paradigm, one where people respect and care for each other, regard the earth with respect, and live in harmony with nature is a real possibility, not just an ideal. These big changes in how you deal with fear, your job, your health, the media, and even the earth itself mark the way out of the matrix. Every step of this journey brings you closer to your highest self and the natural world, and it makes you more aware and free. Remember that you're not on this journey by yourself. As Dolores Cannon's words shine a light on the way. Wake-up calls are being made all over the world for people to come out of the shadows and into the light of a new day. We want to live in a world without fear, where everyone gets along with nature, and where our lives reflect our deepest values and goals. Know that every choice you make to break away from the matrix and get back in touch with the essence of life is a powerful act of rebellion and creation. You're not just leaving a world of illusion behind, you're entering a world of possibility and building a future where happiness, freedom, and peace are the norm. As lighthouses, these intentional communities show the way to a life in balance with nature and with each other. Dolores Cannon's teachings resound strongly here, highlighting Earth's major change and encouraging people to evolve along with it. You show your commitment to this big change by choosing a life connected to nature and taking a step back from the matrix's complex web. The path to detachment, which is the final sign of transcending the matrix, marks a huge shift in how you see things. It's a revelation, an insight that lifts you above the noise of different stories and arguments. Dolores Cannon's wisdom shines through and reminds us of how deeply we are linked to each other, how we're all threads in a huge cosmic tapestry and parts of a divine whole. Realizing that hurting someone else is really hurting yourself is the foundation of your enlightened state of mind. You take a step back from the matrix's planned conflicts and become an observer, a silent witness to the chaos going on around you. This position isn't based on indifference, it comes from deep understanding. You know that hasty decisions only make things more divided and scary. As a viewer, your peace and kindness shine through the darkness, representing the unity that goes beyond the matrix's illusions. You bring about the deep connection that ties everything together, fighting for unity. Your choice to stay out of the fray weakens the matrix's control over you and speeds up its breakdown. You know that our strength comes from working together as a group. They create conflicts, but if you choose not to get involved, you can help make the world more harmonious and wise. To get out of the matrix, you don't have to give up the world. You just have to become more aware of it. It's a journey to learn more about yourself, a search for freedom and a show of your strength. If you pay attention to these signs and choose to leave fear-based stories behind, you will become a force for change that will weaken the matrix's control over people. When you leave the matrix, you align yourself with a view of the world that respects the sacredness of life, sees the divinity in each person, and knows that our common journey is to return to love, unity, and harmony. This vision is not a make-believe utopia. It is a real world that we are creating together through our thoughts, beliefs, and actions. In beautiful words, Dolores Cannon said, "We are living in the most important time in the history of the universe. Now is the time to wake up, remember who we really are, and take on our roles as co-creators of the new Earth." The wise and hopeful thoughts of Dolores Cannon remind us that we are not going through this journey by ourselves. As we move toward a future where love rules supreme, hearts are opening, minds are growing, and spirits are soar around the world. Let us remember that we have the power to change the future as we find our way through this important time in history. The Matrix, with all of its lies and restrictions, can't stand up to the power of awakened people working together in love and purpose. As we move forward, let us do so with bravery, kindness, and conviction, knowing that the paradise of Eden is not just a faraway dream, but something we are making real one choice at a time. Don't forget that you're not traveling alone. There is a deep awakening going on, and you are an important part of it. No, you're not crazy. You are a bright light of hope and a champion of independence. You lead us all to a bright future. You have a choice. Stay trapped in the myths of the Matrix, or step into the embrace of Eden. To awaken, you must first take a step. If you're still with me, I extend my gratitude for your presence, and if you wish, consider subscribing to our channel. And remember, I have a profound love for you and hope that your life is filled with prosperity and happiness to the fullest extent possible. Thank you.